Um, Here we have it, man. I didn't want to do this. As you well know, I'm slightly odd. As you well know, I'm not a regular man, so the way that I process things are differently. And I try and be as professional as I can on in my football hut. But I'm human. I'm very emotional. I'm very passionate, and I do react to things emotionally. So for anybody who saw my instant reaction and were distressed, was insulted by how I acted, I apologize. But football does things to me that I can't comprehend. I've had a headache for the past 24 hours or so. I've been around. I couldn't sleep last night, and I still think that it's a dream. There are just times where I just think up to myself and be like, wait a minute, did that really happen? Are you sure that really happened? So, we're going to go in because there's a lot I have to say. So you have to press pause. This could be a two-parter because I want to talk about belief. I want to talk about a club's stature. What it means to be a club of some stature. There's some apologies that I need to make. And I need to talk about losers' mentality. So there's a lot of things that I need to really conduct and break them. This is why I have to bring out the meal. Because, guys, let me be real with you, man. Let me be honestly real with you. How? How do those PSG players? How do those PSG players motivate themselves to play another game? How do they? How does the club move forward? I don't understand how they should still even be existing or being allowed to play. But I want to just look at this much because we're going to talk about big issues. But so this post-match analysis is about going to be the match and expanding much more on the bigger issues and the repercussions for both sides. So going into this game, PSG had foregone a 3-1 lead when they played Chelsea. Most famously, their 4-0 lead against Barcelona. We all know what happened, the miracle at the Camp Nou. So, surely this would have been at the back of their minds. But I think for PSG, and look, everybody was guilty of this. This is Manchester United, not Barcelona. A much weak, even Manchester United at full strength with everyone couldn't touch that Barcelona side of Neymar, the Cannibal, and Messi. But not only was it a Man United side that they'd already beaten 2-0, 10 first-team players were missing. Specifically, there was no Paul Pogba, no Lingard, no Martial. So going into the game and everything, already you saw what the issue was. This is an issue that I already highlighted, which is Mbappe played as a striker. Mbappe is not a striker. That's a whole different position. He's a left-wing forward. And you've got to look at the manager and say to yourselves that this whole passing game that you're doing, this whole thing of we're going to pass around, give it out wide to either a Bernat or a Di Maria and just hook the ball in and hope that Mbappe gets at the head of it as a lone striker. Surely he should have seen that this isn't really working here. Him as a striker is not really. So it didn't even really work in the game against Manchester United at Old Trafford. Okay, he got the goal. Doesn't mean that he worked and he flourished in that role. But I've got to talk about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and Manchester United. I'll talk about Man United maybe after this, but they believed. They believed. I didn't. You didn't. Most people didn't. Well, a dude called Timmy Chin, who did a crazy prediction, he did somewhat, but most of us did not believe. But he believed. And so did the team. Because you look at our first goal, and now, this is a narrative that I want to stop because the narrative out there is PSG did this to themselves. PSG just made these mistakes and United just capitalized on the mistakes. So United were just sort of fortuitous, and this is all about PSG self-destructing. 100%, I think it was Keller or someone who made that crazy pass for the opening goal. Reaction. As a striker, of course, it's about finishing, your one-on-ones, your hold-up play, your link play and everything. One of the most underrated assets for a striker is how do you react to situations. If Lukaku did not react to that situation, Silva or Kimpembe, they easily flush it out. Easily. But Lukaku reacted quicker than both Kimpembe and Silva. He saw the mistake, reacted to the mistake, pounced upon it, got past Buffon, had the control, the determination, and the focus to get the ball before it hit the byline, and the technique and touch to finish it from what was a very tight angle, because he almost overran from a very tight angle. That is quality striker play. Yes, PSG, that was a stupid mistake to make, but my goodness, you're not going to give Lukaku credit for that. You have to give him credit for that, 100%. So obviously PSG, boom, they do their thing. Finally, this whole passing thing eventually leads to a goal with Bernat coming in from the inside and giving it a goal. So at 1-1, you think, all right, PSG will now take over this game. That's what you'd expect. And Mbappe is a theme here. This was Mbappe's worst game. Everybody has them, but this was Mbappe's worst game. And I think, I've also got to just press pause here. Hopefully you've got a good email. Guys, don't be childish. Don't be childish. I've seen the tweets and the notifications and so forth. Oh, Mbappe, he's not so good. Look at the disaster class. Oh, guys, he's 20. Okay, he's 20. And he still won the World Cup at 19. He had a horrible game. Mbappe will tell you that this was the worst game of his career. It happens. Maradona did have a horrible game. Pele did have a horrible game. Messi has had a horrible game. Cristiano has had a horrible game. Name any player you want, they've had at least one horrible game. Because that's just what called life is and for footballers. So, but this just does not mean that, okay, he's now useless and a crap player and all that he did in the World Cup means nothing. No. It was a mixture. It's a mixture of him just having a really bad day, poor touch, poor control, nothing came off for him, and being played in a role that is not really benefited to him. So playing badly, wrong role, combined to what was a disaster class. So I want to talk about Gianluigi now. I respect what Buffon has done in the past. If I think he still plays for them, if I'm Areloa and I look at that mistake that Buffon made, and I say to myself, wait a minute. So all because my name isn't as big as Buffon and I've not done as much as Buffon, I'm looking at to do to make a mistake that I know that I wouldn't make. I can bet you right now, Areloa doesn't make that mistake. He doesn't make the mistake. Buffon has been making a lot of costly mistakes in his older age. The only reason why he still gets given games is because of what he's done in the past. Again, I respect what he's done. Yeah, he's a legend. I still don't believe he's the greatest keeper of all time. I think Neuer is on course to be that. Could even talk about Neuer as well. But Buffon is definitely up there based on what he has done. I don't give a damn what you did 5 years ago or 4 years ago. That's great. And we can then commend you when you retired. You're still actively playing. Which means if you're actively playing, what have you done for me now? I'm not going to just respect you or give you a place in the team based on what you did 5 years ago. No, what have you done now? Based on Buffon's recent performances, does he warrant a place as PSG's number one? Based on his recent performances, should he be in goal ahead of Areloa? But Areloa is decent. He ain't great, but he's decent and he's better than Buffon. So, again, same thing with United's first goal. Horrible mistake from Buffon. Horrible mistake. How do we not give credit to Lukaku for reacting? Because that's what he did. He reacted. First to react, first to pounce, boom, 2-1. Game changes. And a lot of people will say, I talked about PSG's success under Tuchel, and I was saying this thing similar to when they played against Napoli, which is why I said they will never win it under Tuchel. The whole thing of pass, trying to score the perfect goal, and just trying to sort of like overwhelm the opposition based on, hey man, what PSG, look at our individuals, we can play all of our nice little passy, silky skills and get past you. But what you have to give credit for Solskjaer to this, the organization of Man United without the ball was impeccable. A lot of the reason of why PSG were unable to really penetrate United was the amazing organization and setup and structure of United when they did have the ball. As in, when you look at United defensively, they were giving no spaces. They were forcing PSG to work hard to create any chances. And the way they shut down Mbappe, Di Maria, and so forth was amazing. So Lindelof is the guy's probably tier 3 right now. So not even there, even McTominay, a guy who has been maligned, who has been insulted and everything, he held it down in that midfield. The defensively and in that midfield as well. So, again, belief. I am shocked that these guys really believe that they could have done this. Because 2-0 down against PSG, I would think that, okay, yeah, you have a belief, but you don't really believe. But when you just look at what United did, it was just what you call effective tactical management. Now, the critical moment in the game. People will say again, Kimpembe, why did you do this and everything like that? But look, it happens. It happens. As in, once things are happening really quick, you turn your body, you don't really think because your head is so hot because you could almost go out and everything. So it happens. But it goes back to United's belief. Right until the very last minute, United kept on pushing. They defended it with men behind the ball, put bodies behind the ball. Every time they had the ball, they broke quickly. Head up, let's play direct. Let's move this ball forward as quickly as possible. We believe we can get this goal. We believe we can get this goal. We believe we can get this goal. So, because if you look at what led to that penalty, I think it was Dalot that took the shot. Him taking that shot was forcing the issue. You see, for a PSG, it's about pass. Sometimes take the bloody shot. Take the flipping shot. Shoot on goal. You don't have to do 5, 6 passes to try and create a chance. Sometimes, screw it. I'm not going to pass here. I'm just going to shoot. Who knows what? Because you shooting could just create some havoc, a situation that could lead to something, a ricochet, a rebound, a penalty. 100% it was a penalty. 100%. And let's be real, man. Rashford, man, 21 years of age, see, that's pressure. See, that is a pressure penalty. Because Rashford knows that if he misses, that would haunt him. Because you think that, my God, I had the chance of scoring the goal that sealed one of the great unlikely comebacks in Champions League history, and I messed up. So this was pressure. So to be able to score a penalty like that, quality penalty, top corner, I mean, nerves cold as steel. Cold as flipping steel. And you say to yourselves, so what is the fallout from this? First off, for Man United, I have to apologize somewhat because I called United irrelevant in 2019. They're not really an elite club. I don't know what Solskjaer is doing because I think it's a combination of what Solskjaer is doing. I think on one hand, he's using juju. 100%. It's juju, it's white magic, it's black magic, it's all kinds of magic. He is using specific wizardry arts to influence these games. So it's magic. That's on one hand. On the second hand, most of Solskjaer's career was played under Ferguson. And if you look at what was the Ferguson mindset, and what would he have drilled into Solskjaer every single day in training? Keep it simple. Just do the right things. Make the right footballing decisions. And just make those one few passes that lead to a chance being created. You don't need to make the third, fourth pass. You don't need to make that short 2-yard pass. Just make that pass, make that through ball that leads to creating a chance. Just keep it basic. Don't overcomplicate things. And I think that is what he has brought into United, is where it is attacking. It is forward moving. But it is forward moving in a sense of where don't overcomplicate the moves. You can get to goal in 2 passes. Not in 5 passes, in 2 passes. 2 simple, basic passes by just making the right runs, having your head up, and making sure that you're making the right pass and the right decision. And that was what Ferguson's mindset and philosophy was always about. Basic attacking, counter-attacking football. No overemphasizing, no overindulging. Keep it basic, keep it simple. And I think for Solskjaer, that's what he has instilled into this Man United side, is what he got drilled in by Ferguson, and really getting these very young, talented players to really express themselves. But also, I think it's also invoking that mentality, the belief of, as Manchester United, man, this is what I learned as a player, this is what Solskjaer would have said, we never, ever give up. We always, oh my gosh, even when you talk about never giving up, he scored one of the goals that signified never giving up. Homeboy did it. Never giving up. So, for United, it's, this is a team you want to avoid. You see, this Man United team is a team you want to avoid. Because once you're dealing with the spirits and the spiritual realm, very dangerous indeed. So, PSG. This is something that, a theme that we already knew, but I hope that for El Khelafi, the owners and everything, they sort of see what the issue is. And the issue is simple. The difference in quality between PSG and the rest of Ligue 1 is the greatest in any league. Like, the difference in quality, man for man and as a team, between PSG and the rest of Ligue 1 That's parity, that's gap in quality is the biggest in any league. So if you're sleepwalking these games in Liga against a Nantes, a Rennes, a Marseille, and so forth, it is very hard to raise your level to a team that is just as good as you, that actually knows how to defend, that actually knows how to attack. So, and that has always been the issue, is that PSG just are not getting the right training in order to compete in the Champions League. Juventus may have totaled the Serie A and so forth, but every time they win the Serie A, it's by 4 points, 5 points, 6 points. Yes, there's always an air of an eventuality of them winning, but they still have to work hard for their wins. Same thing with Bayern Munich. There's an air of eventuality, but they still have to work hard for their wins. PSG don't have to work hard for their wins. Their wins are very simple. Very rarely are they really pushed because the players they have are just far much better. So they're always going to run into these issues where they just don't know how to really step up to a team where, no, this is a two-legged tie. And that team that may have been down in the first leg, they're coming for your blood in that second leg. Okay. So with Barcelona were like, yeah, we know that we're 4-0 down, but we have 90 minutes to play at the Camp Nou, so we're trying to... It ain't over. It ain't over. That's what Champions League football is about. United showed that it's improbable. We don't have a players or anything, but we didn't fly all the way to Paris just to give up. We're going to try and win the game. Somehow, some way, the most improbable way, we're going to try and win the game. So that's why. So, and I think the thing with the PSG is that there's no backbone, there's no character, and you just can't throw money at the situation because you see that was the issue to an extent with Real Madrid and the Galacticos. You just throwing money and they didn't really win as much trophies as you think a team that talented would. But PSG don't have a Zinedine Zidane. And when you have a Zinedine Zidane, that's a horseman. None of these players in this PSG team are ever going to be a horseman. So there's that there. So you had a special player in his Dan there. But even when you look at Real Madrid, even going fourth there was still a backbone, a character, perfectly exemplified by Sergio Ramos. Perfectly exemplified by Cristiano Ronaldo, because when you look at a Ramos and a Cristiano, my God, they have character. They have mentality. They have a winning mentality. For PSG, there is not a winning mentality there. It's just talent. For me, Verratti is still arguably the most talented central midfielder in the world. I still think Mbappe is one of the most talented young players in the world. Thiago Silva on his day is one of the best defenders in the world. Talent doesn't mean anything. In a match, in football matches, talent is the bare minimum. When we're dealing with football, what counts, as I said, is this. I can. There's not a number or the amount of times that the less talented team has been to the more talented team because the less talented team were better prepared and they wanted it more and they did the right things on the day. Because when the referee blows the whistle, nobody cares about your name, what you've done, your accolades, your ranking, your sponsorships, the media hype around you. When the referee blows the whistle, it is you against me. It is 10v10. So for a Scott McTominay, for a Rashford, for a Lindelof, who are not known, they're like, for a Lukaku, they're like, nah, all right. Well, it's us, it's you against us. The media can't play this match for you. Hype can't play this match for you. It's you versus us. So for me, as I've always said, I don't know how PSG can be allowed back in the Champions League. Because what makes this so stupid, ridiculous, and embarrassing is, and this is the sick thing, and this just comes from some people's stupidity, because I've always said, check the records and the videos, I've always said time and time again, PSG are never winning the Champions League, and PSG should never be called Champions League favourites. And people said, how can you not call PSG Champions League favourites? Look at all the players they have. I said, no. Don't give me names. I talk real right now. PSG should never be called Champions League favourites. because they don't deserve that title. They don't deserve that title. It's as simple as that. You have to go and prove yourself and earn your stripes. Do you realize, ever since this project started, with Ibrahimovic leading the line and everything, they have not reached a semi-final of the Champions League? Do you know how stupid that is? So when I say to myself, okay, so what new thing will people say now? Ah, man, if only Neymar was fit. Let's try and, okay. So what if he gets injured again next season? You know what? Let's go by Ericsson. Okay, you know what? Let's go by Icardi. No, it's not a question of buying these players. PSG are just in a very messed up situation, which is that you will always run into these issues as long as you're in Ligue 1. Because in order to play these Champions League matches, you need to be tested. You need to be battle tested so you're ready and sharp. These PSG guys, they're just not sharp, because once we're dealing with Champions League knockouts football, it's different. Champions League knockouts football is the highest form of club football. Okay, it is about 3 billion levels higher than that trash you get in Ligue 1. It simply is. So, again, and you look at Tuchel, and I said this when Tuchel was hired, and I've been saying this through. You can look back at my videos and everything. Tuchel is not the man to get the best out of PSG. You see, it is the arrogance, because they're like, oh, jeez, Dortmund played really sexy football. Oh my gosh, if we bring Tuchel to PSG and he plays that sexy football with better players, oh my gosh, we will just over-sexualize and just completely outplay teams with our amazing brand of football. No. And I think I mentioned this before. PSG needed a dictator. They need an authoritarian. They need a disciplinarian. They need a Mourinho. They need a Simeone, or they need a Benitez. They need somebody who is like, no, this is our structure. This is how our defense is structured, and fully aware and fully concentrating for 180 minutes. And we're going to play pragmatic football, because we can play pragmatic football because we've got individuals to get the goal when needed. But we have structure, we have proper concentration and character. No time for looking sexy and looking good. So it just depends for these things like, do you just want to entertain for the sake of entertaining? Do you just want to win Ligue 1 by 30, 40 points, beating guys 6-7-0 and guys doing amazing skills? Or do you actually want to be a real club, an elite club? Because as long as PSG win all those things in Ligue 1, you'll never be seen as elite. You are not an elite club. You're a joke. PSG are a joke. So win your Ligue 1s and your French Cup. With regards to the world, within the world rankings, you're a joke. You're an embarrassment. C'est vrai. C'est très vrai. So, I think the whole thing should be disbanded. But the key thing, they can't be allowed back in the Champions League. To do what? Better luck next year? Oh, we'll try again? Really? So, but yeah, look, man. But as much as it pains me, because you could say, okay, why does it pain me? Because it pains me, because I wanted to see Mbappe do his thing. I wanted to see Mbappe because I'm a fan of the youth and the new generation. But despite the pain and the anger and everything, you've got to look at this thing in a mature way. And at the end of the day, you're dealing with, you have to deal with reality. You have to deal with flipping reality. And the reality of the matter is, you have to go out and execute. The name doesn't matter. What people talk about doesn't matter. And I think that, for me, as much as I would have wanted to see what Neymar and Mbappe would do, I think the real winner here is football. And this is something similar that I said back in 2010, when Argentina played against Germany. I mean, Argentina, they had Maradona as the coach. Higuain was there. Messi was there. All these players were there. And Argentina had all the stars. Germany, They didn't really have any big stars or anything. Remember, this was the days when Mola and Ozil were only just coming into their own. And Germany beat them 4-0. And I said that in football, once the referee blows the whistle, names don't matter. Legacy doesn't matter. How you're seen doesn't matter. Your Instagram followers, your Twitter followers, your Ballon d'Ors, they don't mean anything. Now it's you versus me. It's now four, and that's how football works. So, what Manchester United did was very important. What they did is very important. What they did, because what they showed was, don't be arrogant. Don't be arrogant. PSG were arrogant. They were arrogant. So United just showed that, you know what? Either you want to be a poser or you want to be a real club. See, Manchester United, they show that, no, we are a real club. That's about football and getting it done. Digging down deep and getting it done. PSG, you're posers. I have no time for posers. Get all the top players, the superstars, put the Jordan thing on your jersey and everything. I have no time for that. Okay? Hype. Hype means nothing when the referee blows that flipping whistle. You know? So, because this PSG, this club, they were built to win the Champions League. They were not built to win Ligue 1. That is why I look at the owners and say, guys, it's not going... If you've been doing this... How long has this been going for? Someone do a fact check for me. I think it's going for 6-7 years, this project. If for 6-7 years, you've not even made it... At least make the final. I mean, if you've been beaten finals, then okay, that's one thing. You've not even made the semi-final. So there are two ways that PSG can go here. The first way is disband this, take the money and just say, look, take all the players you want. This project isn't working because obviously we can't just throw money at a situation. We actually have to build it from the ground up and really have a proper 10-year plan. That's one thing. Disband the whole thing, which I'm in support of. But let's play devil's advocate. What is an alternative? An alternative is you've got to get a proper manager. Tuchel is not a proper manager. Laurent Blanc is not a proper manager. Emery is a very good coach. But that's not the kind of guy that you get for PSG. For a PSG, this is what I always say. When you've got a team with amazing talent, amazing attacking talent and everything, you are very fortuitous to have the Zidane Real Madrid situation, which is a very, very special, unique situation where a manager who is attacking and offensive gets the best out of an attacking team. That's a very rare situation. What you do is you get a pragmatic coach, because a pragmatic coach will make sure that you don't concede. And when you don't concede, with the kind of talent you have individually, you're going to win games. Because if you score out 1, 2, 3 goals that you can't score, and you don't concede, more likely than not, you will win most games that you lose. So the individual talent is there to score goals when need be, but what they're missing is a structure, pragmatism, finding much more effective ways of actually creating chances. Tuchel's management style is not effective. It's just, let's just look really, really good and have this philosophy and, appealing passing football to entertain the crowd. So again, maximum points. Do you want to entertain or do you want to win? For the owners, it seems as if you want to entertain. That's why you hired Emery and why you hired Tuchel. Because Emery and Tuchel, they're pretty much the same guy. Very attacking, let's entertain, throw men forward. If you want to entertain, fine, but then you're wasting my time and your time. Because if you're PSG and you have those kinds of players and spend that kind of money, I think it's going to be about winning. It's going to be about winning the Champions League. Not the League, it's about winning the Champions League. So if you want to win, you get managers who are about winning. Mourinho is about winning. Benitez is about winning. Simeone is about winning. You get guys who, they're not worried about, they don't stop the philosophy like, okay, what do I need to do to win this trophy? But the last word has got to be given to Man United. And I still support PSG being thrown out of the Champions League. They cannot be allowed back in the Champions League. They cannot. But for Manchester United, man, I mean, Solskjaer, amazing. Absolutely amazing. For Lukaku, I hold my hands up and say, wow. Wow, wow, wow. What he has done. Wow. I mean, just the entire team, you know, Lindelof, Dalot, all just an amazing. These players cannot downplay just what they achieved. Yes, you went up against a bunch of losers and the biggest bottle jobs in history. PSG had the biggest bottle jobs in history. No, never mention Tottenham again. Tottenham fans should actually be raising up and down, because anytime people call Tottenham bottlers, I'll mention PSG. Okay, they're now the number one bottle jobs in the history of football. But for Man United, man, and for Ole, why not? Because this is one of these Champions Leagues where, I mean, maybe this is just one of these Champions League editions where it's like, man, because it's so what I did to Real Madrid, so what Man United now have done onto PSG. And the key thing, and this is the beauty about football, the beauty about it, if you really believe, because I believe of that the mind can do amazing things. We have only scratched the surface of the mind. I think we only use about 10% of our brain and the mind. If you really believe and you really will it, you can do great things. Talent is very small. It's a very small part of actually achieving great things. If you really believe and your mind, you truly, truly believe it, on that football pitch, you can slay Goliath. You can slay Goliath if you really believe it. And if your mind game is greater than Goliath's, you will slay Goliath. So if Solskjaer just gets them playing well, doing the right things, gets his tactics right, which is the foundation, but he makes them say that, no, let us believe we can do this. Because any seeds of doubt, you're out. Shred any seeds of doubt. Just say, no, let's just make us believe that we can do this. Nothing is impossible. Forget who we have and forget who are playing. Nothing is impossible. Because it's us versus them on that pitch. It's not about the media, the hype. It's us versus them on that pitch. Anything is possible, and that is the essence of why we love football. Thanks for watching the video. Now think about becoming a Football Hot patron by pledging an amount each month, and then gain access to exclusive content only on the Football Hot Patron page. Peace. Head over to the official site at halffootballhot.com or just click over here.